BoJack Horseman has been around since 2014, but I sadly only discovered it last year. The falling in love with this show was quick, beautiful, and painful, for I soon found out it was coming to an end. I'm Claudia, here for Geek Up or Shut Up, and to celebrate the ending of this wonderful show later this week, let's go over some of the reasons that make this one of the greatest shows I've ever binge-watched. Starting with its overall enjoyment, BoJack is a dramatic comedy that takes a shot at both in almost every episode and does so incredibly. It doesn't just try to make you laugh, it succeeds, while also attempting and succeeding at making you cry at the same time. BoJack is completely raw in its show of human interactions, relations, and human life in general, and does it in such a wonderful and quick way in just around 30 minutes. Not to mention, these episodes fly by and end with an extremely enjoyable and catchy ending song.
Mother...
Back in the 90s, I was in a very famous team.
Number 4, I must mention the queer representation in this show. The effortless, completely natural characters that sometimes appear on screen have been, as a queer person myself, amazing to see. I entered this show knowing nothing about it, and seeing myself randomly represented isn't something I can say often about shows. Starting with the main asexual character, something extremely rare in any other form of media, where the creators saw a chance with Todd Chavez and they totally took it. This is a theme that comes genuinely and slowly, ever so slowly, just like it would happen to most people discovering their sexualities.
I don't think I'm straight either. I don't know what I am. I think I might be nothing.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Todd discovers himself through the course of a few episodes until he becomes comfortable enough in his skin and shares it aloud with BoJack, who reacts like the real LGBTQ+ warrior he is.
I'm sure you think that's weird.
Are you kidding? That's amazing. Sometimes I wish I was asexual.
And lastly, Kelsey Jennings, our powerful feminist who's also a cool badass lesbian. As a lesbian wannabe filmmaker, having Kelsey on my screen brings me that sort of representation I had no idea I really needed. And being gay is not what defines her in the show at all. Kelsey is cool and smart, and she's one of the few who actually gets BoJack to better himself and show his true talent on film. She's what I aim to be at, aside from the general hostility that hovers her at times. But we still love her. While many shows, like Family Guy and such, leave many issues their characters have to the unknown, BoJack isn't afraid to be real. They're not afraid to ground their characters and deal with the issues these might have.
You're a real stupid piece of shit.
BoJack was a mere alcoholic at first, but his alcoholic actions quickly gain up on him with several consequences, and he finally admits he needs help. Making him, at this point in time, a recovered alcoholic actually trying to be better, which will allow him to deal with his self-loathing and depression. Speaking of which, Diane finally deals with her own mental issues and takes the help she always knew she needed but hadn't allowed herself to receive it, and she can now say she is actually happy. Lastly, but not only, Todd was neglected, partially abused by BoJack, deadbeat who stands up for himself, leaves the oppressive life he had with BoJack and thrives, which actually turns him into one of the most successful characters in the show. The truth is, BoJack Horseman has a point to make. It's not only trying to make you laugh and be silly, it's trying to show you people, whether anthropomorphic or not, are real, and these issues exist and shouldn't be ignored. Because when ignored, they can ruin your life. But once treated, things can actually get better.
Everybody deserves to be loved.
Whether people may get uncomfortable by the upfrontness of the issues discussed, the show does not give a crap and jumps headfirst into tackling hard issues. Whether it's talking about war, harassment, the hardships of the female gender in society or in the industries like cinema, portraying mental health issues at their core, the brilliant, clever writing encapsulates all of these into extremely thought-provoking ideals that won't allow your brain to shut down, but instead force you to take a good hard look at yourself and everything around you. The show won't let you rest, and it isn't afraid of it, like I've said before. It isn't afraid to be raw and be real. At some point, you start to forget the show's original premise is a talking horse that had a show in the 90s and wants to write a biography. Because it's not a mere adult comedy, it's so much more than that. It's a rough and energetic portrayal of our society. The show knows this, and you better know it too.
Fuck, man. What else is there to say?
This leads me to my final point. The writing. Yes, I could go on all day about how genius every single script is. Because they all are. Do you want to talk about the episode where for 26 minutes BoJack delivers a heartfelt, funny, upfront eulogy at his mother's funeral? Or should we talk about the cleverly added but never mentioned banner jokes? The hard to keep up wordplays? The constant attacks at Hollywood? Jessica Biel and Margot Martindale playing absolute chaotic versions of themselves? The way every character in BoJack gets their own development, their own stories, their own lives without feeling like they only revolve around BoJack, because they don't, unlike other adult comedies, and the show finds time to give us fully fleshed out, painfully real main characters, but also spends enough time on the rest of the cast that we actually end up caring about all of them almost equally? This show has taken art and animation to a whole new level, to the point I can't even watch other adult comedies without complaining that they're not trying hard enough. Given that BoJack Horseman has found an incredible way to represent a true world and society just like the one we live in, with all its flaws, but also with all its beauty.
Hey?
And finally, I don't!
Hey, look! Mr. Peanut Butter got a bucket stuck on his head!
Side note here, can we talk about Alison Brie for a bit? You know, Diane? Who is also Ruth on Glow, another brilliant Netflix show, by the way, where she also shines bright and is incredible in. Alison Brie rocks. Thank you everyone for watching. Let me know what's your favorite part about BoJack and how excited or scared are you for the big finale. Let us know if you also like this new different video and what else you'd like to see on the channel. Like this, subscribe, and geek up with us until our next video.